Hi, how are you? This is Jilly Bling. Today's project is the second out of 5 in using the bundle Honeybee Home. So here's the set, and I have the dies kind of everywhere. So this I saw on Stamps, Paper, Scissors by Tammy Wilson, and I love this project, so I thought we'd do this one today. Mine is a little bit different than hers. I used a different designer paper and just a little bit different. Okay. So, Honeybee Home is a stamp set. The dies are Honeybee Blooms. Does that make sense? Honeybee Blooms, yes. And basic borders, and that's for this right here. Beautiful shapes for the little, what is that, a hexagon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in the catalog there is a timber and embossing folder with wood grain, and I don't have that one. It's on the way, so I use this one instead. But any wood grain would work. And also the Hive embossing folder for these little hexagons. Okay. Here we go. So, iridescent rhinestones, new favorite. Hexagon embossing or Hive embossing folder. This is for stamping the bees and cutting out the flower. And you know, you might not have noticed this little flower in white, white on white. But when you see it in person, it adds a nice touch. You know, just all these little details is what makes our card so nice. Okay, this longer paper is for the die. Where are my dies? Here they are. We'll be doing some aqua painter, water painter. So this is from Basic Borders Dies, and I'm going to put it on so that this much of the die hanging off is equal to this much. And then also, think about when you attach this die cut paper to your wood grain paper. If you put it way over here, you're going to throw away a lot and you're not going to have much to glue on. So do it as far over here as possible, and that's plenty area to put glue on. So here it is, ready to go. Okay, we'll do these in just a minute. Let's just start assembling the card, and then all these pieces will make sense. So this is a whole bunch of white on white. And the designer paper is from, I think it's called Heart and Home. I should look it up. It's either Heart and Home or Heart and Home. And you could still get it, and I think it's on sale right now. Not that I have lots of it, but here it is. And it's called Heart and Home Designer Paper. What I love about that paper is the back side of most of the sheets are a wood grain in gray. It's very pretty. I think I cut something a little crooked here, as I did with the first one. But I think it'll be just fine. So, let's see, what should I do? Just wondering, how should I attach this? I think the first one I did it with liquid glue, and that worked out fine. Whatever you like. And chances of me getting these cut to the perfect size is slim, so I will, it's hard to see up there with the little fold. I'll just do the best I can. And if needed, that looks pretty good. Maybe I need to trim a little bit over here. But you might need to trim your paper. I love this print. But you could tell, I love blue. And this is thick, basic white. Or I think the thick still might be called whisper white. So it's just thick white paper. And for stamping the bee in the hive, we'll use the regular, the 40 sheets per pack white paper. It's a little bit thinner, perfect for layering, but it's got a really nice smooth finish, which is great for coloring, heat embossing, color, just anything and everything. But I understand, and I always use the thick white paper, but I like working with the regular. Okay, so here's a card base. So what do we have? Maybe I'll try doing this one opposite, because you know how I like to do that. So put that one there. This goes right on top, but it needs texture. Okay, so there's texture. So let's attach these. And this one, I put the, see the stitching right on there? Right up next to the wood. So you could see a lot of the designer paper. This one I might kind of stretch it out a little bit more. You know, texture, I need to use liquid glue. This is going to have both. Okay, that's good. I just refilled my bottle. It's so nice. Okay, that looks good. So this will go here. I'm going to put it on with dimensionals. See, and you know what? I might trim, because looking at this, can you see that it's just a little bit longer? So I'm going to trim both ends of it with my paper cutter that's right here. Just a minute. That's better. Okay, so I'm going to put 6 dimensionals on here, maybe more. Okay, more. So today is class day and garage sale. It's always so good to see the girls. Looking forward to that. Okay, that's opposite. I wonder if I could do it. Hold on. I'm thinking of doing it the other direction, because I like to do that. Okay, come on, little dimensional. Put it right in the middle. So for the inside, I had 2 sheets of Misty Moonlight paper left. And here's a quarter of the sheet. I love this color. It's gone, but this project, if you're doing this project, Night of Navy paper works perfectly. So whatever blue you have. Okay, and this is going to be inside. Okay, so this is going to be for the words, and this we will stamp the bees on and heat emboss them. Okay, heat emboss, stamp, words, and I love those words. Okay, so these words, such happy news. My first thought is, oh, that means baby, which I hope one day, because we have a wedding in about a year, one day we'll have a baby in our world. but anyone having a baby would be great. But then also Emma, who just is a woman of many wonders, she's like, I'm thinking about buying a property for rental. And in my head, I'm like, I'm scared of that. But if she did, that is happy news. So glad we're family. That's good for anyone. But it could be any word. So if it was a friend having a baby, you could change it to something else. These little flowers down here. Okay, so there's quite a bit of embossing. So let's get to that. The embossing, heat embossing. So I'll be using Versamark ink, my well-loved pad, and what's this one? Such Happy News. We'll start with that. And I'm going to stamp it a little bit low because I know that I need to trim it. Such Happy News. Okay. My black embossing powder is black with bits of other stuff in it. Okay. Now I'll heat emboss this in just a minute. So we have that. And on here, should I do this So Happy We're Family or what else? The words in here are great. Such happy news, so glad we're family, miss you. Such happy news, no. Such happy news, best of luck. I'm thinking if this was Emma in her house, I don't want her to rely on luck. And Michaela, in a year, if she's pregnant, it's not luck. Stay wonderful. I always like that. You're the nicest. Such happy news, you're the nicest. How about stay wonderful? I used that in the last project. Such happy news. Stay wonderful. Everyone could use that. Okay, so that's on the inside. Where's that little flower? This little thing. Okay, so stamping clear ink on white paper. Just kind of pretending like I know what I'm doing here. Because it's invisible. It's translucent. Okay, I know I have bees to stamp, but let me get this with powder on it. Okay, powder on it. It's a very delicate stamp. Okay, so I'll heat that. And then on here will be 3 bees. 3 bees. And I'm using all the same bee, but there are 3 different ones in the bundle. And again, here we are, clear on white. So this next one, I'm just guessing they're not going to run into each other. It's hard. I could do each one separately. Okay, they are good. So I think we're done with embossing powder for now. So I'm going to heat these. Okay, I'm going to check that I cooked them all the way. Sometimes it's hard to tell. But because I'm watercoloring them, I don't want to leave out make any parts unheated. Okay, because if I didn't heat it all the way, it would just be granules, and as soon as I put the water on it, they would not dissolve, but they would move around, and that wouldn't be good. Okay, so we're done with this. These, okay, this is a die for these bees, so I'll cut out 3 of those. This is the little flower. Cut out 1 of those, and 3 of these hexagons. Okay. Three bees, 1 flower, hexagons that I ran through the Hive embossing folder. Okay, so we're looking good. Let's work on this. So I'm just going to trim off the end. And I purposely tried to drop it down low. And I might need to straighten this out because it looks like it's going uphill a little bit. So on my machine, I'm going to, or my little guillotine cutter, I'm going to cut from here to up just a little bit higher. And then I'm going to cut off a lot of this right up here. Okay. That's just a little bit more narrow. So now to do the flag end, if you have a square punch, put the square punch right in there and it will cut it out. But if you don't, cut it right in the middle. You know, I'm going to make this one a little shorter. And this side a little shorter. Okay, so cut it right in the middle. And then cut from this corner right to that center point, and then the same on this side. Okay, and then repeat. Ding! That's Mama sending me a text. But I'll be over there in about an hour. Okay, so that looks good. So that's for the outside. This goes on here. Okay, so we have to color the bees and the hexagons. So to do the hexagons, I'm going to use, you would assume, daffodil or yellow, but I'm going to use mango, and I'm going to use a blending brush. Mango blending brush. And I'm just going to apply color to these hexagons with the hive print on it. And when I was cutting them and embossing them, I was fine if they were all different directions. So I'm going to try to aim for some parts of this hexagon being real dark and others being with not much color on it. I'll put it dark right there. Ooh, that's real dark. Because if I did the whole thing in mango solid, it's like I should just use mango paper. But I want it to be a little bit, well, I guess I can't say the word natural, but unique. Each of them a little bit different because we're artsy. Okay, so these are going to go on the card front. This one will have a different layout. Such happy news. Okay, it'll have a really different layout, which is fine. Something like that. Okay, so let's color the bees and let's color the inside. So I'm going to do that with my aqua painter and stamp pads and a block. So the block, I'm going to put just a part of the block, a corner of the block, into the stamp pad. There, you could see, just a little bit. I could put the whole thing in, but then I just need to wash pretty much the whole thing. And the other edge of the block, right there. So that becomes my palette, which makes it easy to control the amount of color. She have 3 bees. So this one, I colored everything really heavy. I colored the mango bee body, and that's seriously mango. And then the balmy blue. This one I want to do a little bit lighter. I like how it's light by the wing tips, but I think it needs to be just in general lighter. So to control your aqua painter and the ink, give it just a little bit of a squeeze. Then when you pull the color away from this blob of color, see how you can control how much blue you have on there? And then as the color wears out from the brush, because at first when you touch the paper, after you dipped it in the ink, the blue is heavy. But as the blue gets lighter and lighter, I'm going to do the wing tips, which I want to be really light, where there's less pigment on the brush tip. So right now I'm doing all of it. All of the leaf in this kind of watered down balmy blue color. And then I'll go back, get a little bit more color, and just go to the center of these wings. Here, I'll hold this one up. Okay, I just dipped it in the ink. See how that's a bit darker? Okay, one more. Okay, wings are done. Oh, since I'm going to have blue on my brush, you bees can dry until it's time to do mango. So now I'll color these flower petals. I think it's heavy right now. So let me get a little softer and do all of the petals in kind of a washed out balmy blue, real soft, but get right up to the edges. It's becoming really soft. There's not much color left in there. But as long as that looks different than the white outline, I'm going to continue. And then I'll go back with the mango and put mango as the flower centers And that will be really real bright. That I'll do dark. Dark Mango Melody. Gotta love the name of the colors. I like how it's always matchy. Balmy Blue, Mango Melody, Evening Evergreen. Sometimes when we're going through neighborhoods, I go, oh, look at that house. It's an evening evergreen with balmy blue trim. And my family looks at me like, wow, you're creative. It's all Stampin' Up! Colors. This is Seaside Spray. Actually, it's darker than that. I miss Seaside Spray. I love that color. I would say I miss Misty Moonlight, but I just used my last 2 sheets. Okay, so that was a wash of the lighter Balmy Blue. So now I'm going to go into the full strength and just put a little bit of detail in the center of each flower. So it's like 2 layers of color. The first one is washout, real light. And the second one is darker. Here, I'll hold this up in just a minute. By no means am I a watercolor artist. Oh, it's kind of nice when the first layer of blue is still wet. Coloring and coloring. Okay, I think that's pretty good. The flowers look cute. Okay, so now with my aqua painter, I'm going to give it a squeeze and get the color out of the bristles. Okay, now it's time to do Mango. Like I said, this time I'm going to try to do it lighter. I don't know if it's possible, but I'll take some color, pull it off to the side, water it down, and then color in the bee. This is Honeybee Home. I don't know, when I see a bee, sometimes I'm a little nervous. Unless it's outside by the trees and minding its own business. Or the flowers, okay. But when it's in my home, I'm not feeling the love. They scare me. Okay, so those are a little bit lighter than the first time around. They're a little bit lighter than these. I don't know, what do you like better? This one almost looks pastel. That one is bright. Maybe I'll go back after it dries and put a few heavy mango, like what I'm doing right here. Right into it. That's mango. So this is a Gotta Have It box, So if you gotta have it, and if you buy it from me, I'd love to send you 5 free card kits. And it's kits so that you can make all 5 of these projects. Okay, I'm putting it on full strength, maybe the stripe. A little interesting. I have to give these a minute to dry before I attach them to the cord. Okay. So that part is done. This, clean it off. High tech. Clean. We like clean. Okay, let's see. This I can see it still has water kind of shining on it. It needs to dry a bit. This I think is done. Do you have just like a little, I should have done my embossing buddy. It's a little better. Okay, so that could go on the inside. Well, I'll just tuck it here for now. Okay, so such happy news. This all kind of needs to stretch out a little bit. So first go down these little hive things. I don't know where all these little pieces come from. Everything is all clean. How could they be around? Probably should have a little bit more of a plan in attaching these, but that's okay. So the baker's twine that I'm using is from the pets in the catalog that just went out, but in the new current annual catalog there is in color baker twine pack, and the blue, the starry sky, is what I kind of wish to use. So just pretend like this black is really starry sky, if you can, or if you still have some of the other baker's twine. Okay, so to do the ribbon or the baker's twine bunch, I just wrap it around. I'm holding it right here. Wrap it around twice. Cut it off. Okay, so I have a loop. Give it a twist. Let's set it on here. And yeah, that is very uniform. I'm going to make it less uniform in just a minute. So if this goes here, thinking maybe that could go like that. This piece, that piece. Then these, I don't want them laying on top of each other. They could be close. And then the same with these. Maybe I'll make this one a little shorter, but just kind of adjust it so that you like what it looks like. And it's supposed to be really random. how's that look? That looks very up and down. I like that. Okay, that's how it will be. So, to lock it down, to start out with, I'm going to use a couple dimensionals on my words. Then, I don't want to disturb it because I like how it looks. I'm going to do me some glue, more glue than anyone should put on any one thing. Because I know that the glue is going to soak down to the paper, and it's going to soak into the baker's twine. It's going to be locked in place. Go and get through that crack. Okay. And then after this gets attached, the words get attached to the top, then I'll go through and I'll put like a little dab of glue underneath these places that are touching the wood grain paper. But for now, and I have a feeling I'm going to need more dimensionals in the appropriate places, because I could feel that the dimensionals are there and the baker's twine is moving around. Oh, I was supposed to put this in here. Well, maybe it's a good thing it didn't attach. That could go right there. I like how there's the white die cut piece and the mango sponging is kind of dark right there. Nothing is holding on. But that makes it easy to put this piece through here. We'll just have to wait a minute. Okay. Maybe I could put the bees on. So the bees are going to go on with dimensionals. I ended up getting it dark. I just can't help it, I guess. I'm waiting for that glue to do its work. Okay, this hasn't even been attached yet. Okay, might need some intervention here. Might need to do some glue dots just to hold it in place for now. Okay, rhinestones. I'm going to put 5 of them on, so I'll do 2 big ones. And I love how these rhinestones are a little bit pink. If you look in the right direction, a little bit blue, but that might be because of my shirt. But the yellow, I love the yellow in there. Yeah, that's not holding on at all. Uh-oh. Roomba, you can't come out. Hold on. I have lots of cleaning that needs to get done, but not right now. Must mean it's 10 o'clock. I got up going early today. Usually I wait till Good Morning America is over, then I get moving. I was kind of excited about this bee card. I put it on pause, took a shower, and then finished watching it. Okay, so now I have to do something about sticking it all together. Oh, it's hanging on there a little bit better. So, okay, glue dots. We'll get this thing stuck together. Sometimes you just can't wait for glue. Okay, that's good. This little flower needs some stick. Can you hear Bo snoring in the background? You'd think he's been up all night being busy. No, he sleeps through the night. Okay, and this little piece of the baker's twine, I like it sticking out, but I'm going to control where it goes. Just like that. See these pieces? Because I see that they're resting on the white textured paper right over here, then I'm going to put two little strips, thin lines of glue. So much for it being freeform. I control where it goes, how it lays on there. Just a little bit. Okay. So that looks good. And it's all decorated already. Woohoo! So for the inside, I just need to attach that. And the only thing about when you use heat embossing, and it's on white, it looks lovely, but if your card has any movement, for instance, going through the mail, sometimes the heat embossing rubs off onto the top inside part of the card, like right here. So if you're mailing it, maybe put another paper here, because, I don't know if you could see, just little residue, and that's just from this. Okay, so that's today's project. They are quite a bit different looking, huh? Thank you for tuning in. Give me a thumbs up. I watch for those so I know what you like, so I know what to do for next time. Seems like you all like flowers. When I do flowers, I get lots of thumbs up. But every once in a while, I like throwing in animals or guy cards. Okay, have a great day. Bye.